Hello, everybody. Here we are. I am so excited. I'm going to invite my guest today and two authors, a live exchange, to come join me. Her name is Nathalie Latham, and she has a beautiful book that's truly blown my mind. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to invite Nathalie. Hey, Nathalie, let me see. How do I do this? Let's. We're so excited. Give me just one moment. Nathalie, are you there? How can we? There you are, Nathalie. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and it's such a joy to connect with you. I want to first of all thank you to Kevin, who's so connected to so many talented authors and survivors, and here we are in the Survivor Club. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You do too.
Oh my gosh, Nathalie, you're in New York right now, I
No,
believe.
I'm actually in India. I didn't get to New York, unfortunately,
Oh,
because of what's happening in the Middle East. So the flights got cancelled, so I haven't left India. So
oh
yeah.
my gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I'm in complete awe, and I'm so blown away by your story. I want you to tell the people a little bit, but first, am I pronouncing your last name okay? Is it Latham?
Latham,
Latham.
Natalie, yeah,
Even
Latham.
better, Nathalie Latham, everybody. I just want you to tune in and just listen to this beautiful story. You're a stage 3 cervical cancer survivor, and what you did with your journey and finding words and art to express and go through is beyond. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, you've lived in Paris to Berlin. You've done you had a first solo show at the National Portrait Gallery. Your book, I Am Alive: Creating Resilience and Healing Trauma Through Art. I look through your artwork in your book, and it's like it says so much without having to say anything at all, if that makes sense. You know,
Hmm.
powerful and poignant, along with the stories and the way that you stamp each sort of experience. It just drops so clear on the journey, on the map of what was your experience. But anyway, I mean, I'm going to let you say a few words. How would you like to say hello to our people tuning in right now?
Well, I just want to say thank you for coming and welcome to the talk. So it's always lovely to share these stories with other people who've gone through cancer, and to I think sharing stories really helps other people who are going through the journey and or are coming through who have come through the other side. It's yeah.
Your story, Nathalie, you're diagnosed. As somebody tells you you have a tumor and it's, I think, 4 inches, and then you get another diagnosis. It's actually a little bit smaller, right? But it's like you're going here and there, and until you get to where you are, where this is what I have to deal with. This is what I have. This is what I'm going to go through. Whether it's spreading or not, I have to continue on. I have to carry on. And
Mm.
you did so. I mean, I know that music you mentioned in your book and art and expression has been a part of your life since you were a little girl, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um,
That's
yeah,
true.
but what was that pivotal moment? If you could tell the viewers, 'cause I know your book, but for the people that don't are like, oh my God, I have to pick up this book, which is out now everywhere worldwide. What was that pivotal moment where you're like, I gotta start putting this down. I'm alive at the moment. I'm alive.
Well, at the time I started, I was in brachytherapy, so that's internal radiation through the vagina, which is and it went on for 7 days, 7 nights. So it was a very horrific experience for me. And I actually was a photographer before, and I used to travel, and I was always photographing the other and meeting people and interested in what was in front of me. And all of a sudden, I was stuck in bed, being radiated every hour for 20 minutes every hour for 7 days, 7 nights. And it was, I was always someone with a camera, and you can't photograph when you're in bed. It was a very, very horrific experience what I was going through, and a lot of complex emotions were also being lived at the same time. And I I actually went into the hospital with a bag full of art materials. So I took clay, I took acrylic paints, I took oil pastels, pencils, and I ended up. It was actually the oil pastels that were the ones that I could actually lie in bed and lie down and draw what I was going through. So as the hours sort of clocked by, I would draw the experiences that I was having, and the experience was beyond words, but I could use color and I could use shapes, and sometimes words would come through. So it was really a way to be my own witness to what I was going through, but it was also a form of expression that helped me go through the whole experience. And then when I came out of the treatment, I was very, very depressed, and every time I drew, I would draw into and to show myself that I was actually alive and in the living, because I knew that if there was a drawing on the pad, I was still here in this earth. So that it was yes, it was a real confirmation of life. It wasn't something I was just doing out of pleasure. It was really a lifeline.
Oh my gosh, that speaks to me. That's how I felt when I was writing into the night, into whenever I needed, in the grips of, you know what the medication does, the chemo brain, the fog, the anxiety, the strangeness, the surreal nature of what is this experience. It's scary. And sometimes you just got to be held and there's no one to hold you. So the pen, or in your case, the pen in both of the arts, is there. It's a containment. It's like a connection to the light, allowing you to be like, I'm here. I'm outside of the madness of what is here, to connect. It's a grounding, really. Uh,
Mm,
I feel so much what you share. Your artwork is your choice, your words, the way you write through this experience, the way I can explain it like I did at the top. It's almost like a clear stamp of process, of journey. And then getting into the artwork is so beautiful. It really drives me deep in not only the colors, but the layers of the words. And it's not what I guess people could think. There's a lot of beauty and hope in it. You know, it's not like
mm,
sometimes we think art that comes out of dark spaces can be dark, but there's so much light and beauty. You capture that, and it was your lifeline, and I think it's a great lifeline for others that they can look, they can pick up this book, but they can also maybe in their humble way do the same thing. I always say to people, don't be hard on yourself. Pick up a journal and write. Don't judge, just write. Doesn't mean
yeah,
be an author, but just rewrite,
yeah.
write it down. There's one, can I ask you a question? There's one image that's more in the beginning of your book, and it's a woman or a person standing over a beast. Maybe it's a dog. What is that? Do you know this one?
Oh, yeah, that's the picture of Durga. That's actually that's this one, right?
Yes, I love this
Yeah,
one.
that's actually the goddess Durga. Durga is the goddess of strength and courage, and this is what is actually a lion. So that she's actually she rides the lion, and she's got multiple hands, and she brings strength and courage. This was actually a poster that I had on the wall, so I put lots of images in my radiation room, and she was there, and she's the goddess of strength and courage. So I knew that I needed to have her by my side as I was going through this horrendous experience. So that was the drawing that I ended up, and she really accompanied me through the whole process.
Oh, I love your interpretation and the way you've just put things down on a paper. To me, I'm always in awe. You think you've read the books until the book comes and you're like, like the first time again. It's really inspiring. And I wanted to say that as I continue along in my own remission journey, and we all have our own personal journeys, no cancer story is quite the same. There might be some things where we can relate to each other, like we can, obviously we've gone through it, but there's always a unique something on the experience. When I was reading your story, I thought, oh my God, how do people do it? I went through my stage 4 cancer, and I had long treatments. It was like almost a year. I went through 6 aggressive rounds of chemotherapy. Okay, but from you had the chemotherapy. Then I'm like, how did she do it? The radiation, that scares me. And I think you had surgery as well. If I
Yes, yeah, yeah.
hysterectomy. Me. I mean, okay, when was the turning point where you're like, I've bounced back? Did you ever have a moment like that where you're like, finally, my body, my mind, my soul has bounced back? Because that's a lot to come back from.
I think it was probably around the 5th year mark. I felt until you have 5 years, like every year you have 6 months, and then after 3 years, and then every year for 2 years, and then on the 5th year, it's like if you have cleared that, you're sort of pretty much free of cancer. And I felt that until then, I really felt like I had a death sentence above me. And when I finished that 5th year, it was like I really felt that death sentence lift, and I didn't realize how heavy it was. And I really did feel that it was like the sky opened for me, and I was able to be in life. So
Mm.
that was, yeah. Yeah, but you know, you're also talking about the importance of creativity. I think that creativity is so important when you go through physical suffering, and because the creativity also gives you that transcendental experience of being, you know, something beyond oneself. And that's why it's so important to be an artist, and even if you're not an artist, but to be able to express oneself through words or through drawings is to be able to see things in a much bigger light than one's own suffering. I think it's very important too.
I agree completely. I don't know where I would be without the writing. Some people have,
Mm,
how did you write a book so quickly? You know what I say, Natalie, and maybe you can relate to it. And it's the truth. I was thinking about it the other day because I'm writing something else and it's slow in nature. Well, you know
yeah.
what? Death has a sense of urgency. Death has a sense of urgency. You just churn it out because death, it's coming for you. And now that I'm on the sort of, the other side in my remission, I'm so slow because life and love has this sense of eternity. You think
Mm,
you have forever, so things take maybe a little longer because you're just so enjoying the expansion of it, of this idea of life, eternal. And so I just think it's fascinating, and I don't know where I would have been if I didn't say yes to whatever that calling was. I'm sure you feel the same way. And what's nice is we create it for ourselves. It's a form of survival, as you clearly know, but then it's also a way of serving back. How can we make sense of the nonsense that is cancer? And I know you touched upon it in your book, and I feel it so much too. It's absurd getting a diagnosis like that. When somebody tells you, "Hey, this is," you're like, "What? Like what?" I've been healthy. I think you too. You had a pretty clean record of health
mm. Yeah,
before
very much. Yeah.
your late 30s when this happened, and
Mm,
me too. And why? Like, where did this come from? What do you do with this now?
mm.
You have to make sense.
Yeah, you do, and but I think the thing I think when we go through profound suffering like that, having a diagnosis and going through treatment, I found one of the things that really helped me was service to humanity, and I ended up being given a project of planting trees and taking care of trees, something that was beyond me, beyond my depression, beyond my physical suffering as I was recovering, and really to be in service and being of something so much bigger than myself. Um, that was something that was so important, so important. And I did at the time I didn't realize how important it was. It was only being able to look it back in the rear vision mirror of like, if I hadn't done that, I don't think I would have actually had such a good outcome. Like it really was something that grounded me and kept me with the life force to always
Mm,
be present to something bigger than myself.
I'm so happy we met. Thank you, Kevin. I'm gonna, you know, you know what it is? I so agree so much with what you're saying. For me personally, there's the artist before cancer. There's the artist now, which is so much better. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
beyond me. There's still the joy we need to create. It's who we are. But when there's a sense of service and contribution, oh my God, is it so much better? Because it's no longer about me. It's, oh my God, I'm giving something I enjoy, but how do I push it out? So we
Yeah.
make the world a little bit better. And then the service of creation becomes its own art form in the best possible way. I don't know. It's a whole layer. I really, I don't know about you, but the people close in my circle know I say this a lot, but I really thank universe. I thank God for my cancer
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be here right now.
Mm. But
You
yeah,
know?
because it really does give you a different perspective on life and a real sense of gratitude for firstly being alive, and also an understanding of why we are here. Like I feel like I've been given extra life. So what am
Yeah.
I going to, you know, extra time. So what am I going to do with this time? I'm going to, you know, what are we going to do with this time, and how to best serve and help others, and you know how to alleviate suffering, or to bring beauty into the world, or to bring more love and to bring more presence into the world. I think it's it really does shift one's perspective.
Can I ask you a question, which I loved as well, which was a surprise in your book? Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like I said, the roadmap is so good to follow because you stamp it along. You know, the chapters or the way you wrote it isn't superfluous. It gives you exactly, you know, the experience, which is so magical. It drops down deep. But what's also nice is between the art and the experience is also your spirituality and how chance played a huge part in your life. I believe before cancer, maybe,
Yes, yes, mantra, yeah, definitely, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
Did you know?
amplified throughout.
Sorry?
And it was amplified throughout. And so would you say that the chance was one of the saving graces through your experience, or
Oh,
what would you say?
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so I've been chanting mantra since for about so when I'd actually had my cancer diagnosis, I've been chanting mantra for about 5 years. And I don't know if you know the meaning of mantra. Man is soul, and tra is tool or through. And so the mantra is to go through the soul or a tool for the soul. And so it's really about connecting to the soul, and when we connect to the soul, this is how we get strength to go through the really difficult things. And what I was saying before in terms of the transcendent feeling experience, when you're connected to the soul, you're connected then to something so much greater than oneself. So the moment I was diagnosed, I chanted the mantra. My mantra is Om Namo Narayani, which is the mantra of Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the Divine Mother. And I just chanted that from morning to night because I was terrified when I was diagnosed. I was 39. The doctors were not very positive about my outcome. And I still meet people who say it's amazing that it's extraordinary that I'm alive today. So, and I really knew deep in my heart that I had not fulfilled my purpose. I really felt like if I was going to leave this planet now, it was like I hadn't done what I was, what I came here to do. And so through my mantra, I really asked for guidance. So first for healing, but also to guide me to where where this soul needed to serve on this planet. And the mantra really, helped me on all levels of that. And another thing that really helped me was that I asked all my friends and people to pray. I didn't care what their faith was or what they prayed to, but I just knew because when prayer comes from love, there's a certain energy and a certain feeling that you can get. And I really felt very supported when I was going through the process of the treatment, and even before. And I would message message people who I knew had some form of spiritual life, and so I knew when I'd go through into my surgeries or the treatment that I was being supported through the prayer and the love, and that was a huge thing. It was an extraordinary experience to have that energetic support. And my doctor, who was very, very French and very not at all spiritual, but I would say to him, I said, you've got to, when I go under, you have to tell me before the surgery, you have to tell me I'm going to be okay. And when I come out, you have to tell me that I'm going to heal very quickly. And at first he looked at me as if I was a little nuts, but afterwards he actually got used to it because there were several surgeries, and he would say each time I did speak to you before you went under and afterwards. So even he changed. So I really felt like, it was a very important thing to communicate how people could help me, because when you're surrounded by people who want to help you, but there's a lot they can't do, but they definitely can pray and, just sit in the presence of love, which is
I
very important.
Natalie, I couldn't agree more. You know, my sister would always text me and tell me so and so is praying for you, or this person is praying for you. Or my mom would be, my uncle in Portugal is praying. It didn't matter what faith, what religion, Muslim, Christians, whatever. I'm like, I'll take all the prayers. It is because it's prayer beyond the wall. It's prayer beyond the medium. It's prayer as an expression itself, the breath of prayer. And I believe all those positive vibrations come your way. It's so powerful. Um,
Absolutely.
and also I love, what is your first thought before going under and coming back? It's how do we mentally prepare? I always say there's cancer of the body and then there's cancer of the mind. For me, I swear to you, Natalie, I was more scared of the mind than I was of my actual cancer. When the mind started to go, oh my God, was that scarier than obviously the challenges of chemo and what it does to the body. As long as my mind could stay strong, that's what mattered. I would tell my oncology team from the start, I said, I don't need to know all the nasty details of the in-between. I know A and Z. A, I'm here. The in-between, your fine minds are going to figure it out. And Z is me walking out. I'm going to go run on the beach one day. So I just
Mm,
to know in my mind, I'm making it and I'm going to be at this destination. The in between, I don't need to be worried and fear mongered and, you know. And so everyone has their own approach. We're all different. But it truly is the mindset, how you marinated your mind before going under and the support of your doctor. And anyway, whatever people believe, I really believe that the power of positive thinking, whether it's
mm,
cancer or not, can change your life.
mm. Yeah.
So I love that story. I want to ask you this, and I could talk to you forever. I don't want to keep you forever, but my gosh, I am very much in awe of your beautiful book. I'm going to tell you that, and I don't have to say that to anybody. It's a really magnificent work of art. I need a minute. It's magical, and God, even that image of the deity of that God with the lion, it just stays with me. But for the people at home that aren't perhaps as spiritual or as inclined to do the things that you and I have found or did pre or post or whatever, when you said you do your chants, what is a simple tip you can leave people with for doing the chants, that it's not complicated? Well, how would you tell the people tuning in now that have never chanted before to embark on that? Is there something you can share there?
I mean, I think one thing, even if people don't have a spiritual connection, to connect with nature, I think that's something that's very, very important, and something that one can do. And even if you can't, if you're too unwell, just so you can just your mind can connect with your one's favorite tree or the pathway that one loves to walk down. There's definitely the connection with nature and again, something bigger than oneself. For me, nature was really something that really profoundly heals me. In terms of mantra, and in terms, I mean, it also depends what people's belief systems are. So, you know, if people are Christian or if they're Catholics, there's the rosary beads. There's, if you're a Christian, there's Our Father. And I mean, each, you know, if you're a Buddhist, there's Om Mani Padme Hum. If you're into Tibetan Buddhism, for me it was the mantra of Mother Nature, so Om Namo Narayani. But it really depends what connects people. You know, what connects, and it's not like nobody can tell you what to do, but it's really something that's what resonates within one. And you know, even I find even something really simple, just doing the Om can be really, really grounding, and just to have the sound in, you know, in one's body, and just to be able to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. Have
That's
I answered the question?
yes, you did.
Yes. Okay.
Listen, spirituality and finding a way to create peace in our life is both simple and complex. The complex part is making it a part of the life and making it simple, you know, and these are simple things. Finding, like you said, a chant that's worked for you on repeat. There's nothing to there, and you chant it and you do it and you find it and it becomes the raft. Like when you get into that canoe, you put on your life jacket. What is the life jacket of your day going to be through life's journey? And we need it. We need it whether it's cancer or not, so we can navigate better. I mean, what an inspiration, Nathalie. A real joy. I thank you for sharing your beautiful book. I mean, you're quite an artist beyond all senses of the word. And, you know, I'm so glad that you survived your cancer. And for people, I know where to get your book, but where can people find your book? It's online. People can order it, but and
Um,
learn more about you as well.
there we are. This is the book. This is what it looks like.
Beautiful.
It depends which country you're in. It's on my website, which is on my Instagram page. Otherwise, you can also get it on Amazon. It depends which. If you look at my website, there's all the different places. It depends which country one is in. So,
Ah,
but it's yeah, it's around. You can get it around.
It's beautiful, and I'll be posting this video. The nice thing about the lives, Natalie, is it's so shareable. So whoever wasn't available here, or if whoever's tuned in loved it and wants to share it with a loved one or someone going through it, it's the power of our shared stories that change the experience. And it doesn't mean we take away the pain. The pain is gone, but we can navigate with a little bit more grace, so we
Yeah,
don't drown. We're not alone. You know, isn't it nice? I know you're
absolutely.
there. You're out in India. I'm here sitting in LA. And
Yeah,
together we're closer than ever, right? In spirit,
yeah,
heart,
absolutely,
power to the people and to love ultimately in guiding us through. But
absolutely.
I'll link your information when I share this video on this page. And
Mm.
thank you, Natalie, for sharing your story. And for those that tuned in, I mean, definitely check out her book and her art. It's beautiful. You're going to want to peel the pages and put them on the wall, right? And be like, how
And
am I
also,
doing this?
just the thing you were asking about mantra. You know, there were some times when I was so unwell, and I was always chanting mantra in my mind. But it was also the important thing was also the breath, just to be present to my breath. And I think that's also something that's so good about just keeping oneself present to the very the now moment. And that was also something that was very important. So that's and there's so many, yeah, there's so many ways to be able to observe the breath, which is also wonderful.
Well, thank you, Nat. Thank you for that. And I hope that we can do a part two sometime soon. And
Mm.
and just thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Well,
Such
thank you
a
so much.
joy.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you so
Thank
very
you.
much.
I'll talk to you soon. And
Okay.
love to everybody tuning in. And cheers to life. Ciao, everybody.
Yes, yes. Thanks for life. Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.